Good evening, my friends. Good evening, well wishers. Good evening, family members. Good evening, all of you persons who are first time watchers and lookers and seekers and viewers. You can call your friends and your family and your neighbors and those who you care for and tell them to tune in to this program on Channel 2 in Guyana. And then you can tune in on YouTube. Just put in Dr. Joseph Haynes now, and it'll be on live in your phones, in your homes, whatever it is. But I want to say good evening to all of you. And I know in many parts of the world it was Thanksgiving this week, last week. A lot of turkeys died. A lot of turkeys. Poor things. Um, some got away though, because I know I saw couple of turkeys on the highway, like they were trying to. I think the turkeys were trying to. I think of it now. The turkeys were trying to hitch a ride out of town to get away from being slaughtered. I saw about four turkeys on the highway, and I wondered what these turkeys doing there. Now I think of it, maybe they were trying to hitch a ride to get out of town so they wouldn't be slaughtered. I think so. I think so. Okay, that's funny. Just thought of that. Anyhow, it was Thanksgiving, and many persons would have had very good evening to you, my dear friend. Um, Many persons would have had a really nice Thanksgiving. I know we had one. My sister and husband and my nephew came over, and we had my one of my boys there with the nephew again, and um, we just had a good time. We had a good time, talking about old times and eating good healthy food. As a matter of fact, there's still some left over, if you believe it or not. But you know what we do? We put it in the freezer and you save it because it's good food. It's tasty and it's nutritious. But some of you can't do that because you cook dead meat. You cook things that are dead, and really, if you have any leftovers, maybe you'll make pickle pot or something with it. But turkey ham or turkey sandwich or something like that. But Thanksgiving really is a. I would like to see Thanksgiving happen across the world because I believe that Thanksgiving is a season or a time when families get together, friends get together, and just um, share good times, some good food, and you know enjoy good conversations. Maybe watch a game of football while you're doing it, or something like that. But Thanksgiving normally is the eve of Christmas, if you can say that. After Thanksgiving, it's Christmas. So many persons celebrate Thanksgiving more than they would celebrate Christmas, because after Thanksgiving is Black Friday. You know what happens on Black Friday? You know why they call it Black Friday? They can call it any other Friday, but Black Friday. But that's the day when people line up for things for hours. It used to be really bad. Now it's not so bad. People used to hang out all night by the stores and have camp there waiting to get to the store first in the morning when they open to get the deals that are there. But I think that is curbed a little bit. I don't see it happening too much now. But people do go to the store early to get deals for Christmas. And then after that, the weekend is quieted down. Who didn't take things back on Sunday? Maybe they took it back on Cyber Monday, because the next thing that happens big is Cyber Monday. It's crazy. These people know what to do to get you to spend your money. Cyber Monday is a day in which you can order or you could purchase pretty much anything electrical or electronic that you want. And other things. No, it's not just cyber. It's any Monday because they have clothing, they have shoes, they have toys, they have everything. So you have Thanksgiving, then you got Black Friday, then Cyber Monday, and then everything else just kind of eases down until the next big one comes, which is Christmas Eve, and then Boxing Day, and then New Year's Eve. These guys really study this whole thing, and they put things together to make you spend. You know, I think this is the season when the credit cards are maxed out. People really spend money on all sorts of things, and then when the year begins, they have to work all year to pay it back. They work all year to pay the debt. You know, it's crazy. It's really something else. I saw something today that really surprised me. I didn't know it was happening. I was just browsing through my phone while in between work, and I just happened to click on Amazon, and somebody just told me to type in vehicles. Lo and behold, Amazon is now selling vehicles. I mean, real vehicles, not toy cars. Real vehicles. You could buy a vehicle on Amazon, and I don't know how it works, but you may have to pay the dealer or wire the money or something, and then maybe Amazon will deliver the car. I don't know. Can you imagine that car coming in a package from Amazon? A real car, a 4x4 Jeep or something like that. That's crazy. Amazon, they're going to sell planes in a little bit, you know, airplanes probably. They do, but toy ones. But soon enough, you might be able to buy an aircraft on Amazon, or a space rocket or something like that, or maybe a flying car. You know, it's really, everything is changing, and people are changing too, because there's some people who I know them. They were looking very young a couple of days ago. Now they're looking very old, or they aged. People have aged overnight for many reasons. And we need to pay attention, because sometimes we bring on those things on ourselves because we stress ourselves too much. We worry about things that we don't need to worry about, that we can't fix or do nothing about. We carry all the burdens that people have because they come and they dump it on you, or they put it in your phone, and you take it on, and you become, you know, overwhelmed by whatever it is that they put in there. And you started stressing yourself, and you know, you can't sleep, and then you look like a zombie in the next morning or two, because you're carrying load that's not yours. You know, I mean, we're humans, and I thought of something the other day, and it's something that I need to talk about, because I looked at animals. I was looking at some animals and how they behave. And how is it that they can live amongst themselves without behaving like humans? You know, without, I mean, they fight and so now and again because of, you know, different reasons or different times. But under normal circumstances, there's no war. You may get war amongst, when I say war, you may have fighting with animals that are prey. You know, they eat other animals to survive. So they may create scenarios where when they get hungry, they gotta eat something. They go and find the weakest link, and they eat that. And the thing is that they share the foods. You know, sometimes the most powerful one will take it, and then when he finishes what he wants, he leaves the rest for whoever else comes along. But we live as humans sometimes worse than animals do in most cases. You know, I mean, for instance, look at the wars around the world. There are wars that are going on for a couple of years now, and all they're doing is killing each other. You know, they're killing each other for worldly possessions that I think most of the time those persons forget that they too have to leave everything. You know, you're gonna deny a segment of the population the benefit of having something, or because you may have been elected or selected to overseer uh, whatever it is that you have to manage. But then you behave as if you own it. You know, you control it. It's yours, and you forget that there are people who ask you, in essence, to manage these affairs for them. So when you look at this, the behavior of the humans, you chose the person to manage your affairs as a leader, as be it the president or prime minister, whatever it is. And then when they sit there in that chair, they act as if they own everything, including you. Remember, their purpose is to manage it, but then they behave as if they own it. You know, and they forget that they too have to die and they can't take nothing with them. So why is it that we have to live the life of a Trojan when you need to live the life of a humanitarian, where you're chosen to do this thing for everyone, and you find or assist you along with others come up with factors that can benefit all who put you there, not just some, all, because we are a human race and we have to exist and coexist. And I don't know what goes into the head of those people who were chosen or elected to govern, where they get to the point where they feel that it's mine and I will only give you what I want you to have. I don't know what is wrong with what happens to their brain. You see, so as a result of what happens in their brains, we have poverty, we have joblessness, we have people who cannot afford not even to send their children to school to buy books. They can't buy uniforms. They can't, and it's not because some of them can afford it. Some of them can't really afford it because they have no jobs, because they have no place to live. I mean, it's crazy, So the average human today, going into Christmas, is stressed and fatigued because they have burdens. Some that they created and some that they didn't. So how do we fix that? Someone in the past, many years ago, probably thought that one way to fix that is by creating scenario where we can have these seasons of giving, right? Thanksgiving is one of those. And if you understand what Thanksgiving means, it's thanks. You give thanks, and then you go giving. You give thanks for being in a position where you can go giving. In other words, when you're blessed to the point where you take care of your family and you have enough that can last you forever, you share it. You give thanks, not with those who are lazy, because they're people who just don't want to work. But with those persons who are homeless, who don't have maybe food, who cannot work, like many persons are born with disabilities where they can't work, they can't do certain things. And those of you or those of us who are blessed to have, give, you know. So Thanksgiving is one of those seasons, I believe. And then there's Christmas, right? I don't want to tell you what I do for people for Christmas, but if I had the world will be having, seriously, because I love to share. I love to give. I love to see people happy. I love to see people smiling. I like to see people um, well and not sick, you know. Um, Talking about sickness, this is a health program we're on, right? I have to remember that. And as we screen people, we are seeing more and more cancer. We are seeing more and more diseases that contribute to cancer. We're seeing more and more illnesses that occur as a result of people themselves doing harm to themselves. Yes, eating the wrong foods, drinking the wrong beverages, living a life of recklessness that causes you to acquire diseases. And talking about acquiring, I got a very sad report today about HIV/AIDS in Guyana. And I don't know what made people realize that or made them think that it's just going to disappear. And as another disease come along, you forget that one and you focus on the other. I think those are diseases, all of them, that we need to continuously remember exist. Yeah, they exist. And we don't know who is afflicted because there's so many things happening today that can cause persons to cover symptoms that would indicate that they have problems. That you may see someone, they may look a certain way, they may sound a certain way, but behind that look and that sound is a very sick person. You know, and I'm speaking because I can see it in people. You cannot, when you come here to screen at our establishment, everything is uncovered. You can't hide nothing. You really can't. You can try, but if it's missed, it's because we didn't look for it. But when you screen with us, everything is exposed, even what's in your brain. Yeah. And those of you who went through the process know that, right? So it's very difficult to hide with us or at us. Okay? It would benefit you to tell us the truth. When you come to screen, doctor, I had a surgery done to remove one of my breasts, or I had a surgery done to remove an organ or whatever it is. You say that because it helps us to understand and to dig deeper as to why you're still having an issue if you remove something that should have stopped an issue. Because we have to screen that area too. And people forget that even when you remove an organ, the nerve ending that organ came from, that it was connected to, still has life. And we can read it. The device can read it because there is still life there. You know, you have to understand. You don't. Some of you who never experienced our device wouldn't understand, but I challenge you to experience it, because if you're sick and you don't know why, get to us. You may not want to take the treatment, but at least you will know what it is that's got you sick, because it will be uncovered. Right? I'm saying all of this to say to you folks that technology is available now for you to know why you're sick. Sick is not normal. It's not normal. And I saw something again the other night when I was doing some reading, where some man, some guy is having an image of a woman's uterus, and he's showing a discharge coming out of there. And he's saying on that program that that discharge is the vagina cleaning itself. If I could have reached out and punched him, I would have done it, because what he's doing is setting people up for disaster. It's not normal to have something coming out of you unless it's something that is a part of you. You know, it is really mind-boggling to know where we've gone today. And I think it's because of greed, because some persons will put those things online to get views, to get you to view so they can make money, I guess. You know, I mean, it's gone crazy. Everything today pretty much is geared towards the dollar. The more views you get, the more money you make. But I don't really care if you get 10 views or 1 view or 1,000 views. All I want to do is get the message out that sickness is not normal. And if you're sick, you need to get to the clinic so we could find why you're sick. Because it's not normal to be sick. And the other thing that's happening today is that there are many persons who are being underdiagnosed or misdiagnosed. Why? Because the average physician don't have the time to spend with you to dig deep enough to find out what's happening. Or they may not have been trained to dig deep. I don't know. I have no clue. However, before you do anything major, like this week alone, we've stopped a few people from having surgery because they were told. We didn't stop them, but they were exposed to the real reasons why they're having issues, and that made the decision not to go through with any surgery, because they've seen the light. They've really realized what is causing their problem. And they made the decision that, you know what, I'm going to wait. Let me treat myself. Let me get the treatment. Let's wait a little to see if this thing is really going to change or if it's going to keep getting worse. You know, the last thing you want to do is to remove a part of your body, a part of an organ or an organ. The last thing you want to do is to remove that, because when you remove it, you can't put it back. And if you put it back, it ain't going to go back the way it was. It's not a vehicle. Your body is not a vehicle where you could change a bearing or change an arm or change a harness. You plug out and plug in. It's not like that. It's not like that. It would be nice if it was like that. Maybe you'll get there someday. I see the humanoids now, right? Humanoids, like robots that are like humans. And in that situation, you can change. You can screw out the part and screw on another part, or you know, release a harness and put another one in, because it's mechanical. Your body is not mechanical, my friends. When you remove something, it's never the same. It's never going to be the same again. There are persons who would have had all kinds of mechanical surgeries done, replacing this and replacing that. You'll never be the same. For a little while, you might feel okay, but then after that, pretty much, you know, you're going to go into a crisis where the pain is worse, the situation is worse, and you wish you never done it. Yeah, like a root canal. Many persons wish they never done a root canal. So it is important to get opinions, maybe two or three, to make sure that what the one said is what is in line with the others. And the last thing you want to do is to not have an alternative. You want to have an alternative. Can you imagine Guyana on the East Bank Highway going to Tamari, and you're on the highway, and you're next to the river, and there's something happening up front, and you have to catch a flight, and there's no way you can turn to go to Tamari to the airport, but one way. There's another way, the river, but you have to get a boat. But if you're trapped on that road right now, and you have to catch a plane, and there's something happening ahead of you that locks the road off, you're going to miss your flight because they got no other way to get to the airport. So they're busy trying to build roads to have an alternative path to get to the airport, which is something that should have been done many years ago. Many years ago. So you need to have an alternative to a crisis, whatever the crisis is. If it's a financial one, if it's a health one, if it's a family one, a food one, or whatever it is, you need to have an alternative. And you've got to somehow practice planning for that time. But if it comes, you have an alternative. Don't wait until it comes before you start planning. Don't work like that. You need to have the plans before it happens. That way, if it does happen, you just go to plan B. Right now, if you're stuck on the highway and the East Coast and the East Bank Highway and you've got to get to the airport, there's no plan B. You don't have a service that you can, someone could come and swoop down on you when you unload your bags and you go up back in the air and you go. We don't have that there yet. It's either the situation clears up or you miss your flight. Plain and simple. Unless you are the crew or the crew is behind you. You know what I mean by the crew? The crew that flies the plane. If you're fortunate enough to have the crew behind you, then you have a chance. But that is becoming more and more less chances to happen because now there are hotels at the airport. There's one at least. And the crew, I think the crews stay there so that if anything happens on the East Bank Road, they don't have to worry. They can walk to their plane. They can just get their bags and walk across the street and they're there. Where you stuck behind some vehicles and something happened down there and you don't know what it is ahead of you and you miss your flight. So, my friends, you gotta have alternatives. And the other thing is that if you miss a flight out of Guyana, you gotta wait another day for the most part because then matter won't go in until maybe the night or the next day. You see, so you need to have alternatives. The bottom line here, what I'm trying to say is that you need to put things in place so that if there's a crisis with your life, you have a plan B. Many of you are destroying your lives by digging your graves with your teeth and eating yourselves into your graves. I see it all the time. And then you're going to fight up now when you got a stroke or you had an aneurysm or a cardiac arrest or a heart attack or you have something that happened that awakened you. Now you're going to say, you know what? I got to stop eating this pork or I got to stop eating all this fried food. It's too late. The damage is already done. Why wait until the crisis before you plan your plan B? Before you do the things that can avoid the crisis? Don't dig your grave with your teeth by eating all the things that are not good for you. and then eat yourself into your grave. Because once you get to a certain point and the cells die and the organs fail, it's just a matter of time. Sad to say. Why can't the average person live to be 106, 110? It can happen. It can happen if we change a lot of things. Number one, we got to change how we think. Because many of us don't think that we can live beyond a certain year. So you do everything to get to that point where that time comes, and then you're gone. Stop putting a time on your life. Stop allowing anyone to put a time on your life. If I had believed what they said about me many years ago, I wouldn't be talking to you today. I'd be dry bones in some burial ground in the south. I didn't believe it. I believed that whatever was wrong with me can be reversed because I wasn't born with it. Many of you give up because someone says you only have a month to live. You have 3 more days to live. You know? Sometimes those guys are right because you believe it. But most times they're not right. And I can prove it. You see, all of us in this world have a time stamp on us that we know that we don't know, but it's known that when you get to this time or day, that's it for you. That's enough. It's time for you to go back where you come from. But we don't know when that time is. No one knows. You know, if you believe in the Bible, it says, a part of the scripture says, no one knows the day nor the hour. No one knows. It's not because somebody says to you, oh, if you don't change what you're doing now, you only have 3 months to live or 1 month to live. Or that should be like fuel in your body. And then you said something else. But that should be like fuel in your body because you know now, according to whoever it is that says that you have an expiry date and it's soon coming, right? So you need to get busy and try and find an opinion that can counteract that and change that outcome. You know, because you might need to stop eating certain things. The biggest challenge we have in anyone we screen, anyone, is what am I going to eat? What am I going to eat? That's the biggest question. What am I going to eat? If you take away all these things that I ate, that I eat, that I like, by the way, that make you sick, the things that are being taken away from you when the list comes up is what made you sick. Not me, I don't make that list. The doctors don't make that list. When we come to our facility, we don't present that list. We only copy it. Because your body knows why it's sick. Your brain and your central nervous system knows why you're sick. Your brain and your central nervous system knows what you did to get sick. Don't let anybody fool you. And then they automatically, with our device, creates the list to help you to reverse why you're sick. That's what happens. So when you get that list of things that are on there that you love, that made you sick, it's your body saying to you, if you want to get better, come off of these things. They're going to kill you. Seriously, it's not me. I get blamed for it. No, Dr. Haynes changed my diet. Dr. Haynes took me. Dr. Haynes took me off. Dr. Haynes is, no, I am just the carrier or the presenter. I am the presenter. I'm not the formulator. I didn't formulate that list. It's you who did it. Your body did it for you and your benefit. I have to, I'm expounding on that because, and listen to what I'm saying and think about it. We dig our graves with our teeth and we eat ourselves into our graves. Yes, it's a fact. And it's proven every day. Persons are here now, December 4th, 2025, and December 31, 2024, they made promises to themselves that I am not going to do this anymore. I'm going to lose all this weight. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to stop eating this. I'm going to stop drinking that. I'm going to quit smoking. I'm going to do all the, I'm going to, and this is December 4th, 2025, nearly 1 year later, and many persons have not achieved nothing. December 31, 2024, they promised themselves that they're going to achieve or do certain things. December 4th, 2025, nearly 1 year later, nothing happened. Some people got worse. Some are bigger in size. Some didn't even make it. Some have already gone, died, gone back. Chapter closed on them. Don't promise yourself something and don't deliver it, because your body will say you're a liar. And you know what's going to happen? It's going to lay back and allow you to do whatever you want to do with it. That's your body, you know. Your body it's not a disobedient body. Your body is very obedient. Whatever you want to do with it, you can do with it. It doesn't fight back. It will let you know it doesn't appreciate something by getting you sick. So you can pull yourself together. But my friends, remember, there's only one life, one time. You're here on this earth one time. So what do? You take heed. You care yourself. You make sure that you follow the principles that are laid out for you to have a healthy, long life without getting sick. You build your immune system. Many of you don't understand the role of your immune system. Your immune system is the most powerful defense mechanism in the world. Your immune system. If the world's immune system were to be failed or were to succumb to diseases, the world will die out. Yes. Your immune system is the defense mechanism that protects you from harmful factors. And if you fail to support and to supply that immune system with what it needs to be able to be a fighter for you, if you fail, then you may end up losing your life because your defense mechanism is gone, it's failed. The only defense you have in your body to protect you is a strong immune system. Take it from me. I know what I'm telling you. You've got to follow certain principles. You've got to be obedient to your body. The body sends us signals, you know. It gives us indications that we need to take an about face in some areas. But sometimes we're distracted. And we're distracted by, I say, evil. Sometimes by factors that are uncontrollable. Sometimes we're distracted by someone who came along your path at the time when you needed to be focused. I know what I'm telling you. Because in a split second, if you're distracted, you could be gone. Yes. If you're focused on something that is to take you to a level, to achieve something, to overcome something, if you focus on that and you listen to your body system, listen to your body, listen to your mind in this quiet moment, it speaks to you quiet. It doesn't Sometimes it blares because it will overwhelm you. But the body speaks to us and we don't listen. It's like the Holy Spirit talking to us, giving us advice, trying to guide us. And we are so distracted that we fail to listen. And when you don't listen, you suffer the consequences. You see? Stop listening to idle things. Stop occupying your time with factors that are not getting you anywhere. Stop getting involved in situations that are not going to benefit you. They're going to hurt you. They're going to destroy you. They're going to cause you to be confused. Allow yourself some time in the day to quietly go over thoughts, to reminisce, to look into your brain, to your mind, and try to understand what's happening. When you're sick and you're laying in that bed and you can't move, you can't even feed yourself. Think about what you did to get there. Now, if there's an accident that created a situation that caused you to be in a terrible state, then it's not a normal thing. It's not something that would have been occurring as a result of, sometimes as a result of you and your carelessness. Many of you are distracted by things like the cell phone. You know how many lives are lost because people are distracted with the cell phone behind the wheels of our vehicle? Yeah. Many lives are lost. And you take other people's lives because you're distracted and you end up in an accident where you took the life or you caused the life of someone to be taken because of your negligence and something that distracted you. You know how many accidents happen like that every day? A cell phone. In recent years gone by, where was that? If people want to get a hold of you, they call you on the phone. And if you're home, they gotta wait till you get the message or they gotta wait till you get home. Today, sometimes I wish I didn't have the cell phone. I need it for my work and for what I do, but I wish sometimes I didn't have it because there's so many distractions that come through the cell phone that it tears away, it rips away at your day. The cell phone has become an object of distraction that causes distraction. Sometimes it causes people's lives. Cell phone. Maybe there should be a blockout time where the cell phone is just shut off, put away. Maybe we should each start doing that. Tell people, listen, you know what? From 8 o'clock at night to 7 in the morning is blockout time for the phone. If you want to get me, you got to get me before 8 o'clock at night. And you shut it off. Or you put it on silent. If something important comes through, it'll be there. Put it on silent. Take off the ringtone. Put it away someplace where you can't see the light when it comes on. I do that, I take the phone and I put it on the ground behind my bed or somewhere. Turn it face down. I don't want to see the light. Because it's a distraction. I don't think I do it enough. Because of my work, sometimes I get, texts or calls from somebody who is in a crisis and they try to put me in a crisis. But it's my life. but I still put it down. Some of you need to stop listening to gossip, idle gossip, because there are people out there who are just there to make trouble. And they have all the time in the world to do it. There are people out there in the world who are dream stealers. They will come like angels and listen to you, and you share an idea with them, and the next thing you know, they're gone with it. Dream stealers. Some people are there dressed in white. I call them angels of death. I think they're there. Because anyone that goes through those doors and goes in their hands doesn't come out. Angels of death. They're there. They're persons who are there that are right next door to you or are in your house that are there to frustrate you. Yes. And you have to be able to decipher if that's a good or that's a bad. And get them out of your house. Get them off your path. There's some people who are going to be in your way until you die. You don't realize they're in your way because it could be a sibling, it could be a brother or a sister or a child, your own children. Because they're influenced by others, So we've got to become smarter. We've got to become more intelligent. We've got to be able to decipher or to recognize evil when it comes, or bad, or wicked, or devious, or dishonest. If you're dishonest with me, one time, I can't trust you no more. Can't. Don't be dishonest with me. Because the moment I find you to be dishonest, it's the last time I'll trust you. That's how I am, and that's how you need to get. We fall for too much nonsense too easily. Position yourself for greatness. Let that be a motto. You do the things that will bring greatness to you. You do the things that will attract greatness to you. You do the things that will keep you healthy and not keep you sick. I have seen recently so many clogged arteries and blood vessels. It's amazing. It's amazing that some people are still walking. You're eating too much fatty foods, too much fry, too much meat and flesh and fatty flesh and foods that are drunken with all kind of oils. Fat is something that you can cook it and it can cook nice in a food and you can't even know it's fat in there until you eat it. You don't have enough temperature in your blood to melt it. So what's going to happen to it? Going to lodge in your arteries. I want you to check the temperature that is required to melt the fat of a pig or to melt the fat of a cow. Check the temperature and see if your 98.6 degrees can melt it. Can't. It isn't going to melt. And guess what's going to happen? It's going to clog your arteries. It's going to block it out. Yeah, it's going to block it out. And then you're going to have problems with your heart. And then you're going to have problems with your blood vessels. And then you're going to have problems with your diabetes and your hypertension. And your next thing you know, you got a stroke or an aneurysm or cardiac arrest. And you're wondering, how did this happen to me? How did this happen? I'm eating healthy. All I'm doing is eating pork once a week. Or I'm frying some fried chicken once a week, but you don't exercise. You don't detoxify. You don't deworm. You don't cleanse your system. You don't do anything to increase your blood temperature to burn it. So what's going to happen? It's going to store in your system. Next thing you know, somebody get the news. You saw John yesterday, right? Yeah, I did. He was in a good mood. He was nice, happy. Yeah, we talked about it also. Guess what? John died this morning. You can't be serious. Yeah, he had a heart attack. He died in his sleep. He went to bed okay, and he never woke up, and all those things. How many of that you didn't hear? You see? So you need to take on factors in life, take on a methodology that I am going to do what I can. I'll do what I can to make sure that I don't become a victim. And it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. It takes a little bit of reading and understanding and commitment, practice. It takes a little bit of acceptance and wanting to change. Some people don't want to change. Some people don't want change. Some people don't know what change means. If you tell them that the pork chops that you're eating every week is causing your arteries to be blocked and narrowed, you can't breathe properly, you can't even climb a step without breathing short, you can't do this, you can't do that. Yeah, because you fail to listen to the body system and to listen to wisdom. You see? So, my friends, time is going. It's almost time for me to come off the air. I'm surprised they haven't sent me notice yet. I'm looking, I hear the phone ticking, but I didn't see nothing yet. So I'll talk until you tell me it's time to finish. But next week, I hope I can be on next week, because next week I'll be somewhere else working hard. I want to start giving out the recipe for your black cake and your garlic, your vegetarian garlic pork chunks, whatever it is. I give those recipes out for the last over a decade now, close to Christmas time. How to make a nice cake, eggless cake. It's wholesome, black cake that you can eat without having to wonder about the fat and about the rank and about, I have those recipes, still have them. And next Thursday, I'll do my best to try to give it out to you. Or I will try to have them find a program that I did last Christmas season, if I can't do one live, so that they can have it on there so you can get it. Because I know many of you look forward to it. But you should save it. Save it, man. Save the thing. Not to make your pepper pot and your garlic paste and your veggie tasty. You won't even know you eat a vegetarian. Yeah, we eat healthy too as vegetarians. I am a vegetarian now for sure 40 years. Nobody can tell. Because when people say, "Oh, you gotta have protein, you gotta eat meat, you gotta eat eggs to get it," really? Where do you live? Where do you get that from? Not today. In today's world, no. Not in yesterday's world. If you understand why we're here and the state of, and the kind of stomach and digestive system we have, you would realize that there's certain things that we shouldn't eat, because we're not going to digest it and we're not going to break it down, and it's not going to be normal in our bodies. You will store a lot of it. Talking about storage, You know, there are people who have pepper pot and garlic pork in their bellies since last Christmas. Yeah, I know they do. I know. It is stored in your colons, in the pockets, since last year. Still there, rotted, fermented, needs cleansing and detoxifying and probably colonics to remove them. You wonder why you get polyps and benign tumors and all those things? It's waste matter that didn't come out. It wasn't removed, it stayed. Some people have worms in them since they were babies. Got snakes in there now. Yeah, worms. And then just keep going from generation to generation, making more. If you only knew, if you only understood. Yes. Anyhow, Christmas is coming and the goose is getting fat. We don't know. It's a nursery rhyme. Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. Please put a penny in the old man hat, something like that. I remember. Just growing up a little boy. I remember that. Yep. So save your pennies for the old man because Christmas is coming. And maybe you don't have a goose to get fat. Give out more for Christmas. The more you give, the more you receive, the more you get, the more you earn, the more you blessed. Give something. Give something to someone who doesn't have. Not those who have. Give something to someone who needs it. Yes, who really needs it. Not someone who can help themselves to achieve it. Give something to someone who needs help. Yes. And the more you give, the younger you get. Yeah. And give with a clean heart. Don't give expecting to get back. Give and forget it. Don't give and talk about it. We got a problem with that, you know. There are people who give and they go and tell the whole world. Give and forget it. And don't look for anything in return. Because you may be a giver. You may be here to be a giver, not a receiver. You know, I give you a lot of lecturing today. We talk a little bit about health and we talk about everything else. But I really want to wish you guys, all of yours and all of you who are hearing me, that I'm going to wish you a blessing and a blessed holiday season, really. I wish we could have all the wars stopped because people need to live their lives. I need to get back to Ukraine. I can't go there because they're fighting. I used to go to Ukraine at least twice a year. I went to school there. I can't even think about going there now because it's forbidden zone at the moment. War zone. Why do we have to kill each other as humans? Why? You hardly see dogs killing dogs or lions killing lions or tigers killing tigers. Why are humans killing each other? And they're doing it all over. All over. We are one people, one human race under God. One. I wish you would stop the wars. I wish you would stop the greed. I wish you would stop eating the foods that make you sick. And if you don't know, call us. Call the clinic at 231-6477. That's in Guyana. 592-231-6477. Call there. Get advice. Get your life and your health back on track. Find out at least why you're sick. And take it from there. Do that. Do yourself that favor. It told me it's time. Okay, it's time. Anyhow, thank you for being patient with me at Safe TV Channel 2. All you good people down there. Miss Adams, the Sprinter, Dale, Dominique, Kevin, and Auntie Lizzie. Thank you guys for allowing me to share with the folks in the world. Thank you for being so kind. May you continue to be blessed, and may you have a season that is full of blessings and cheers and good rhythms. And to all of you who are watching and listening, family members, friends, patients, good evening. Thank you for watching. Good night.